welcome back to Suspenders Unbuttoned. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Julie, and we're excited to welcome Davah Avina, writer for 12 Dates Till Christmas, and also an executive producer and the co-showrunner. That's a lot.
It is. It's a lot of titles. The most I've ever had.
So when you have, tell us about that, about this is the most amount of titles, so that means probably the most responsibility, or what went into it for you that was different than your other projects?
Well, so this is the very first time I've ever been a co-showrunner, and so this is a really exciting opportunity for me. I've been in the business writing television for 20-ish, maybe just under 20 years. And so I've slowly worked my way up the ladder. Started on a television show called Medium, which was kind of a procedural about a psychic,
Right.
and then went on to do kind of more character-based shows, and my most recent show was Firefly Lane for Netflix, which
Yeah.
was really character based. And so then slowly worked my way up the ladder. And while I was doing that, went to set, learned how to work with actors and directors and producers, and also spent so much time in the writers room, learning how to be a better writer, learning how to be a good leader. And so when this opportunity came, I felt like I had really, done my time, and was ready to do it.
Um, I love all that background and just the amount of experience that you have there. So now that you were part of the co-showrunners for this series, would you be interested in doing that again?
100%. I've said this to basically anybody who will ask me. This you say that you're ready to do something. You're ready to take that next step, but there's that little piece of you are like, but am I really, and I did it, and I'm so proud of myself. I did it, and I think I felt like I was actually good at it. The cast and the crew felt so supported. It was the kind of set that I wanted to run. I've seen all kinds of sets and shows, and been on all kinds of experiences, and it was a happy place to be, and that's not always the case. And so I felt like it was a success.
Okay, so what we're talking about is 12 Dates Till Christmas, which was the Hallmark Channel's Christmas limited series. So we've talked to other showrunners before. We know that they're not always on set. Were you actually on set for this the whole time?
Yes, I wasn't there the whole time.
Okay.
Aaron Rodman, who is the other co-showrunner and creator of the show, was there soup to nuts.
Wow.
Okay.
And then I came in right before we started production. I went home. My family was affected by the wildfires in Altadena in January. And so I came home for a little bit, and then I went back for the end of production.
Wow. That is so fun, because we hear often, especially nowadays since maybe COVID, that the opportunity isn't always there for that to happen. So that's a
Yeah, I mean,
blessing.
that's why I just feel like so lucky that I was able to really truly like work my way up the ladder, because those opportunities don't exist actually that much anymore.
And,
Right.
and I'm glad that you were able to seize that opportunity. First, I'm just going to say, I'm so sorry your family was
Yes.
impacted by
Thank
those
you.
fires. Just so many were, and they're quite,
Incredibly.
yeah,
Yeah.
quite
It's
incredible.
hard to watch from afar. So
Right. Can't
yeah.
imagine being in the midst of it.
It was crazy being up close too.
I
It was
bet it
just
was.
like,
I can't imagine,
Nope, literally
Yeah.
can't imagine that. It's
yeah.
just a
Yeah.
lot. But we are appreciating all your wonderful work. So this was a collaborative you were I'm going to get this out. You were co-showrunners with Aaron Rodman. What does your
Yeah.
creative process look like? Like, how do you divide up tasks? How do you decide who's doing what?
Well, that's a really great question, because Aaron um, found the book. Oh, so it's based on a
Based on
book
a book.
called 12 Dates, the 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayless. And I mean, so good, this book. We loved the book. But so anyways, Aaron found the book, um, reached out to Jenny, secured the rights, did all of that kind of setup work before I was even on the
Okay.
scene.
Right.
She's been with this project for like 5 years or something. Like it's been a
Wow.
long time.
Wow.
And then once she had a studio connected and everything, then I was brought in to try to help, really develop the series into what we thought 6 episodes would look like, and then pitched it to the network and got notes back. And so to answer your question, the process of like splitting it up when you're in the TV writers room, and I don't know how much you guys speak with TV writers,
A
but like
lot.
the okay, so the TV, as you know, then TV writer room is very, 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 very collaborative. So it might say, oh, written by Zach Hug, who is an amazing one of our writers. We all were in the room with Zach working on that episode and making sure that everything made sense, and that everything from his episode was number 3, how made sure that episode 2 went into exactly, set up episode 3 perfectly, and then that would go on to set up episode 4. So it's very, very, very collaborative. And Erin and I were a great team. Erin's so wonderful. The great thing about Erin was that she was very, there's a word that I'm thinking of, like purposeful
Okay.
in when we decided to partner up for this show, to talk about like, let's communicate, let's if we over communicate if we have
Mhm.
to, but let's not let things simmer, let's just communicate. And she was like the proponent of like always being like, well, let's sit down and talk about it, and let's so there was never that simmering stuff that, oh,
Mhm.
I'm still upset about episode whatever.
When you are adapting a book to a screen, especially when you get to kind of play it out over 6 episodes like you did, what are the challenges to that? And like, did you feel like you needed to keep to the book, or to this for the fans of the original, the story, the way they originally found it, or does that not really matter as much? Like, is it more of just like looking at it like this is an adaptation of a story that we loved?
I think that probably the fans of her book, it mattered to them.
Yeah.
um, but with television, there's so many, and people will never know, but there are so many things that maybe you don't want to change, but because of the location or the cast or whatever that comes up, you just, by virtue of making an actual thing that goes from your head onto a screen, and that process, sometimes you have to make changes.
Right.
So sometimes there were those kinds of changes, and then other times, what we loved about the book was like the spirit of it.
Mm-hmm.
We loved everything. Well, let me say, we loved everything about the book, but what we wanted to make sure that we got on screen was the heart and the intention of the book, and I think that we were successful in doing that. And Jenny Bayless, the author, actually sat in our writers' room with us. It was Zoom room, but she came on to Zoom, and she was with us the whole way.
Wow.
And she co-wrote the finale with Erin. And her voice, she has such a beautiful, her voice is so distinctive that it was so fun to, I mean, I get an email from her delightful. I'd be asking her like, "What's a posh pie?" So, what is a posh pie? And she would write me like the most delightful, email back that was exactly the voice of her books. And it's so
Right.
I love that as a writer. I'm like, wow, like if blindfold me, I don't know who I'm reading. I know that's Jenny Bayless. I
Right.
love it.
I,
That's
I love
fun.
that she was part of the process,
Yeah.
so interwoven into the process like that.
Yeah.
Helps stay. It's definitely different to be a series than a book, but keeps that tone similar for the reader who's watching
Yeah.
the series now. But not only do you have her voice and her tone, you also have Hallmark's voice and Hallmark's tone. So Hallmark Holiday Storytelling has its own art form. What kind of rules did you need to follow, and what did you get to bend a little bit because it's a series and a book?
Well, I am a Hallmark newbie. I have never written anything for Hallmark. So I didn't go into it with any preconceived ideas.
Right.
I was just like, here's a book. I was told it should be 6 episodes. And so we just sat down like I would break any other show, whether it be for Netflix or ABC, and we broke it, and I truly didn't like keep myself to anything, any Hallmark, for better or worse. I didn't keep myself to anything like that. But I will say that Erin, who has written
Yeah.
multiple Hallmark movies, did kind of know, like, I think had a better idea of what those. I don't think that they're rules. I don't think anything is
No.
steadfast.
Right.
But things that they like, the things that they really like. For example, one of the things that Erin would always say is, how could this story only take place at Christmas? How can we make this date something that would only happen at Christmas? And so that was one of the things that was always like the North Star of like,
Right.
why is this happening at Christmas? And why could it only happen at Christmas?
Right. It makes it just feel so much. What's the word I'm looking for? It feels like you couldn't just take that story and put it at like Valentine's Day, right? Like
Right.
It feels
it's
Yeah.
meaningful.
seasonal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. I also think it's kind of great that you went in without kind of having these little expectations or knowledge really of what is sort of I mean, we're fans of the network. We love the network, but we know every show, every series or movie kind of has a similar tone, or like we know we're going to have this heart at the core of it. Like
Right.
there's kind of these expectations that you go in watching and looking for. So I think it's kind of refreshing to hear that you came in and you just wrote it like you would write anything else. And the story had all that already. You didn't
Right.
have to fit it into a box,
Right.
per se.
And that
Yeah.
is in large part to Jenny Bayless,
Right.
who wrote a story that was so full of heart
Yeah.
that it just translated. We didn't have to be like, how can we make this fit? It already was. And then
Right.
Aaron and I and Jenny, wanted to make a modern woman who was going through modern, situation. And we, um, Aaron and I both, are dealing with, aging parents. And so we, wanted to have, something with that. And, it's the book, but then also we bring our own,
Right.
we pick little things out of the book that are things that resonate with us. I'm a child of divorced parents, and so that was something that I was like really wanted to dig into.
Hmm.
you know
Yeah. You mentioned it, you wanting to show that she's like a modern woman. I want to say that that's one of the things I really felt came through on screen is that it just felt the whole story and visually it felt very modern and I really enjoyed that part of it. It didn't
Thank
feel like
you.
a fairy tale or something, like it
Hmm.
just kind of had that real life feeling to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grounded was
Okay.
another thing that
Yeah.
we both wanted it to feel, grounded in like all of it, and then this grounded person who's not always, sunshine and butterflies, going into these wonderfully over the top Christmas event like themed dates that, that juxtaposition for us was always really fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing that Aaron, I'll say, and you guys cut me off whenever you want. The other thing that Aaron always said was, the thing that gravitated her towards the story was that a Christmas themed dating service was something she would have wanted to do herself. It's very aspirational. And so that's something, another one of our North Stars is, would you want to do this? Did we want to do this crazy dating service and these dates? We had to make them fun enough for them to be, a huge experience.
We've been talking about Kate, the main character, and just how modern. I felt like she was somebody I could work with, or she could be one of my friends, or my neighbor down the street. Like she
Just a real person.
absolutely real. Tell us a little about her and what makes fans cheer for her. Like, what makes you just go, yes, get it, girl?
Oh my gosh. I feel like Kate is just, and again, this is based off of Jenny Bayless's book, was such a likable character in that she's trying her hardest, right? Just trying to get through Christmas. And then her friends do this thing that so well-intentioned, our friends are well-intentioned, but, and
Yes.
what's so beautiful is they saw this thing. They saw maybe a light inside their friend that was dimming a little bit, and they wanted to try to help her. And it's not to say, that you need a partner to be happy. That's
Right.
not the story that we're telling at all. But what we wanted to do was use these dates to kind of fire up your, that light inside of you to start being like, well, what, start being more introspective, and then, your light will only shine brighter. I forgot what the question was.
No.
Oh, why do we root for Kate?
Yeah, because
I mean,
yeah.
I think that,
Yeah.
I mean, I know that I can sometimes feel, like the weight of all of the things that are, pressing on us, on our shoulders, and to have this, to just get whisked away to some big romantic dinner in a snow globe. Hello, yes,
Right.
yes, please. I mean, the guy didn't show up, but still,
It was a minor detail, but a fun
Minor.
detail. Honestly, like this is what makes the storytelling so engaging. Yeah, no,
Thank you.
right.
I think it's somewhat relatable in a way. I mean, sometimes it would. Here's why I'm saying it's relatable, because everybody knows how busy the holidays get, and then everybody has these outside responsibilities, just like you were mentioning. But Julie and I just had to step away from all of that last weekend and attend a Hallmark event. So it kind of felt like you were whisked away into this world that's a little bit I don't know, like a dream in a sense. Like you're like a big fancy date with, in a snow globe or something
Right.
like that, where it's not your normal reality. So to kind of get that chance and ignite that spark a little bit more, I think
Yeah.
people would enjoy watching that.
And I also love the storyline with her dad.
Yeah.
They love each other so much. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't always agree with the people that I love
Right.
so much.
Same.
And so they fight. Sometimes they fight, but they love each other so much. And that, I just feel like you can root for Kate because you understand, like,
Yes.
where so many of us love our fathers so much, or our mothers, or, and I think that could be something that people connect with.
Yeah, and you could like really feel that too. I think it was in the first episode when her friends are saying like we signed you up, and she's like, you had to get my dad involved, right? Like
Yeah.
I can't say no to him, kind of. So
Yeah.
she gets sucked into it. I
She's
really
really a dad, like, what is it? A dad, a daughter, what is it? A daddy's,
like a daddy's girl.
a daddy's girl. She really is. I
Yeah.
mean, they have such a strong, I mean, and then the episode 4, which is using all of the flashbacks to kind of really solidify for the audience, like how important they were to each other. And I mean, maybe a little codependent, you know, but still, who isn't a little codependent?
You know, I mean, really, that's what makes you family, isn't it? A bit. That you
Right,
had
exactly.
some shared experiences, and you did them how you could at the time, and
Yeah,
right. I mean,
absolutely.
for sure. You know, while we're talking about this, there are 6 episodes and 1 book. Like, how did you really decide how you would break out the episodes?
So I think at first blush, everyone was like, okay, 2 episodes, you know, 12 divided by 6 is 2,
Right.
you know. And so, you know, my first thing that you know, and I'm sure Erin agrees, that I said when I came in was like, well, for sure, we need to keep the audience guessing. The first episode is 3 dates. Boom, 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 you know, and then we slow it down for episode 2 and really draw them out. And then we had all this huge storyline between Mac and Evelyn, you know, a whole other romance story that needed its real estate in the show. So, so I just, you know, my intention was try to keep the audience guessing. You know, in the last episode, there's only 1 date, you know, so we knew, you know, we really want to make it so that every episode is kind of very different feeling, the pace and everything. And so that's what went into the decision of how we split up the dates.
And Evelyn and Mac needed their moment, especially when Evelyn is being played by Jane Seymour. Like, come on!
I mean,
this cast is like
huge, right?
Oh my gosh, yes,
Yes,
incredible cast. I mean,
Jane
Seymour
May is just like, okay. Well, first of all, yes, May Whitman we will get to, but Jane Seymour, since we're on it, Jane Seymour is like icon.
Right. She's Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. Like, everyone knows it.
I mean, and she looks gorgeous. Just like walking around, just showing up, you know, like, boom, ready to go, always camera ready, like, but that she's just gorgeous. I'll have whatever she's having.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm just like, it takes a lot of work for me.
But I mean, that's amazing to have her. And you know, of course, we have Mae Whitman, we have Julian Morris. I mean, this is a stacked cast. Yes.
Mae Whitman was the first person we went out to.
Yeah.
I never thought we would get her. She's like, she was the number 1 person that we wanted out of everybody that we could have picked in the world. Literally, number 1 was Mae Whitman. And they were like, well, let's go out to her. I'm like,
sure.
You know, I had a boss once say about casting, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget the names of everybody. He says, you know, on Monday, you're going out to, who's the woman who plays Devil Wears Prada?
Oh, Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. He's like, on Monday, you're going out to Meryl Streep, and on Friday, you're on your knees to Joyce DeWitt, who was from Three's Company. So you know, he dates him.
Yeah.
But that was, I always thought that was so funny, is like, casting is, you know, you have all of these huge, amazing ideas of what it could be. Right. Oh, we're gonna, you know, get so and so, and then, you know, Monday you're on your knees to Joyce DeWitt. But we actually they sent her the scripts, and she liked the scripts, and And it was just a dream come true. And she brought so much to the character of Kate. You know, she brought her own modern woman to the character of Kate, and we just loved it. She was such a pleasure to work with, and she um, it is a wonderful number one. You know, the number one on the call sheet is the lead of the show,
Yeah.
and the way that they act is the way that everyone else kind of takes their cue from that person. And she was just the most amazing.
You know, I can't even picture anybody else doing it. Like she really just embodied the role, and it was like, oh, she's perfect. This is exactly, I know her, I relate to her. She's
Yes.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
When
I
you
know this
were
person.
when you were writing, did you talk about that? Like, oh my gosh, we would love to have May.
You
Like, or
know,
did you not think about that part of it while you were
while I
putting?
was while I was making it, or we were writing and developing it, I didn't have anyone in mind. I had, because I listened to the book
Hmm.
on Audible, I kind of had whoever was the voice artist in my head. That's who I had kind of imagined who that person was in
Right.
real life. Was my kind of vague idea of Kate. But then once we got to casting, then it was like, okay, well, we have to, to start somewhere. Well, shoot for for the stars.
Yes.
Never thought we'd get her. It was amazing. It was so wonderful. She's so beautiful. I have been watching her since she did a small role. I mean, okay, we all saw her, like, Hope Floats, her
Right.
running after the dad in the car haunts my
Right.
dreams, number one. But I saw her as a patient on Grey's Anatomy in,
Oh.
like, I know, like early 2000s or something.
Okay.
She's just she was just one of the patients, and she was like one of
Everyone
the
was a
stories.
patient on Grey's Anatomy.
Yes. And she was so good
Uh,
that I remember looking her up and
Yeah.
going, okay, Mae Whitman. Okay. It was like 2005.
I might have to look
And I
that up.
saw her on a Grey's Anatomy, and I was just like, oh my God, this woman is so good. Of course, I didn't know that she was the Hope Floats girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
So
great
I've kind of
point.
just had her in the back of my mind as like an amazing actress. And then of course Parenthood, and
Right.
the
Right.
list is so long.
Very long.
Very long.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fun, how fun. Do you feel like you could bring this back for another season?
Well, we'd love to. We've been, I mean, we've been, pitching ideas of like what another season could be. Um, you know, we had cast come up to us and be like, what if we could, like, everyone was having so much fun
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
that even they were pitching like, oh, what if we did this for another season? And it's one of those things. But as of yet, no plans.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I
I mean, I
definitely
could
think
see
that
it.
it
Yes.
could
So
for
if
sure.
Hallmark came calling, you'd be like,
Yeah.
yes.
I would open the door.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Come on in, let's chat, right? Um, I think fans are loving these limited series, and so they're really fun. You get to go a little deeper in the world than just a movie, right?
Yeah.
And get
Yeah.
to see a lot more. I love what you did with this book. Would you do some, like, with all the same cast and just do something a little different, or would you have somebody
I mean,
else?
there's different versions. There's a version of like, Drew, the Christmas Cupid, could be in a whole new city.
Oh,
It could be, we could do an international thing. A lot of people don't know that we actually shot it in Ireland,
Ireland. Yes.
and Drew is Irish.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I always thought it'd be
Oh.
fun. Why don't we do it in Dublin, and just stop pretending we're in the UK and go back, get all of the same people, and, do it again, but actually say we're in Dublin this time.
Oh, that'd be a fun twist, actually.
Yeah.
So now that you've written or co-written one for Hallmark. So if this doesn't come back as a season 2, like everybody's hopeful for, would you be interested in doing something else, like another limited series for the network, or even trying to get into the movies?
I would love that.
Yeah.
My whole career has been television.
Hmm.
And so I really admire the people who can write features. And it's something that I would love to get into, but I have not done. And I'm a little intimidated by the structure of the feature. And it's so funny because Erin mostly comes from feature. And so
Right.
that's why I feel like we're such a great partnership. She laughs when I say that I'm intimidated by the feature. She's like, you can do 6 hours of television, but you can't do,
Two.
I was
90
gonna
minutes.
say it feels like it
You know?
would be the opposite way, like,
But it's
Yeah.
like the devil,
Right.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, to me it feels like you have to hit all of the right structure things at the correct time with features. And with TV, it's more, like
Uh-huh.
you slide things in whenever, it's helpful.
So would you be open to like a limited series that wasn't a holiday one? That was,
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm a fan of Mistletoe Murders, and I know that
yeah,
it's holiday, but like that show so strong.
yep.
Um, and then I mean, let's do a Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. Like, you know what? Here's the other thing, is that limited series. What I like about them is that there's an end, so you can
Yeah.
have like a beginning, middle, and end. When things are ongoing, like of course there is character growth,
Right.
but it has to go much slower because you
Right.
have to be able to keep on going and
Sometimes
going and going.
painfully slow.
Yes. And so there's something, this is my first limited series. I really loved it because we could really say, okay, this is where we start and this is where we want to end, and we want to, hit some mile markers along the way. And that's how we beat out the show. We were like, here's some pivotal points, and maybe we thought, oh, this is going to be in episode 4. And then once we started, breaking it out, oh, it seems like maybe more that's an episode 3 thing. And yeah.
Yeah. When you are writing, just a typical series that's not a limited series, do you often know your ending goal, or is it a little bit more fluid because it's maybe an ongoing series? Like how is that? How does that
So
work?
with an ongoing series, what they'll usually do is set something that's not a season ender, but some big thing that we all know as the writers that we're working towards. So the whole season is working towards usually a penultimate,
Right.
second to the last episode, and then kind of the last episode ties everything together. And we'll want a couple of tent pole moments in maybe episode 3 and 10 or something like that. But that is the shape of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But that thing that happens at the end of the season is like a big thing, but hopefully it's something that will trigger a brand new thing that's going to lead you into next season.
Right.
So it's like an advancement in the story, but also kind of either like a left-hand turn where you're like, oh, I didn't even know we were going to go tell that side of the story, or that side of the story even existed. So then, I think the people who do this really well, I've been watching Stranger Things, which is
Yes.
not a rom-com at all, but
Right.
at the end of each season, they are like, oh, but here's another card that we just are turning over for you. Oh, now we know that's what next season's about. So to answer your question, yes, we know where we're going, but it's not going towards the end like a full bow on the top. Everything's been answered. It hopefully will be something where this story is answered, but now it's created new questions.
Right.
Right. Right.
I find this
And
all
then that's
fascinating.
the next season.
Right.
Okay, so I'm wondering if there was anything for this series that came out different than you expected it. So when you were writing it to when you were watching it on screen, it could be either just unexpected or better than you imagined, or however.
Well, um, we, how shall I say this? Very often in television, we have what's in our mind, and then what we see is kind of like the deflated version of the big aspirations that you had in your head of like what this moment was going to be like. But in this version, it's kind of always been in this show, it was always the opposite. Like our pro, production design was like
Yeah.
phenomenal. Like I've never been on a show before that had such excellent production design.
Wow.
We said, yeah, I mean, we were like, yes, they're in snow globes. And I was like, we're going to write this. And at some point, somebody's going to tell us snow globes that people can fit in don't exist. Think of something better. Or something that we could do. And they're like, no, we'll make these snow globes. Like they took everything that we said and we came up with and like made it the prettiest, most amazing version of that. Like the escape room was,
Yeah.
better than we could have ever imagined. Like our production team, we would have these production meetings and I would just be blown away by what they were bringing. And they'd be taking it even better. Like, oh, well, you can have this, but you could also have this. What about that? And I'd be like, oh, I never knew I could have that, And then our amazing, like another example of that is the sheep in episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
I've told this story to, again, anyone who'll listen to me. In television, so often they're like, never write in animals,
Yes.
Animals are children, right? And so in episode 3, we were all talking, oh, they get stopped by, some sheep in the middle of the road. And I was like, yeah, that's what we want. At some point, the studio, at some point, the network, somebody's going to tell us, sorry, we can't get you sheep. Now, I mean, granted, there's a lot of sheep in Ireland, but still, maybe they'll say you can have 2 sheep. Like if this was happening in the US, they'd be like, you can have 2 sheep,
Right.
I'm waiting for somebody to tell me we're not going to have, or we can't have sheep, you can have a cat, or something like that. And I would have made it work.
You can have a cat.
Truly, I would have made it work, and production, I'm sitting at the production meeting for episode 3 and the animal wrangler says, are 50 sheep going to be enough? And I'm like,
Yes.
are we like, is this actually happening? Like, okay, yeah, that would be great. Could we have 50? Yes. Okay.
Wow.
And
I didn't believe it
great,
until I saw it,
right? And it was great.
I just,
There they are.
Yeah.
I was shocked. You just spend so much time having been in the business for 20 years. So many times you're told, sorry, you can't have
Right.
that thing or this thing, or, oh, that's too expensive or whatever. And, we just had a wonderful experience in Ireland and everyone was so talented. Our directors, Emer Conroy and Megan Fox, they both were not the Megan Fox, but
Right.
the director Megan Fox, so talented. I just couldn't. Just a dream crew and cast.
Yeah.
And hello, Mary McDonnell,
Right.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
I mean,
So amazing. So amazing.
gorgeous.
So amazing.
So gorgeous.
So did you have a scene when it was all shot, said and done, that was your favorite?
Oh no. I have so many favorites.
Okay, give us a few.
It's so bad. I love the Dickensian date,
Oh,
the
Okay.
cosplay of
Yes.
dressing up in the
yep.
Dickensian.
Yes.
Like, I love Drew's outfit, you know, her like little, you know, the little accent that she puts on at the beginning of the date, and Kate wearing the gorgeous dress.
Right.
And I remember writing that she's got ridiculously poofy sleeves,
Right.
and it was some, you know, just one of those things where you write it in a script and then you come to set and the wardrobe person is like, well, it said ridiculously poofy sleeves, and you're like, okay. Like, you know, they really were looking at the scripts to be like, how can we make this the best, you know, to Aaron and Dava's intentions. So
Right.
it was so wonderful. So I love that. And I love the two women dancing to Last Christmas
Yep.
with the
Oh,
violin. Oh my
so
gosh, it was so
good.
great. So that number one is so cool. Um, and then I have to say episode 4, the
The
flashbacks.
Yeah,
flashbacks. Yeah.
Oh,
so good.
I mean, the actress, both of the young actors that play Kate and Callum
Hmm.
were so genuine, and I just believed them so much. Their moment, like where they kiss for the first time, oh my gosh. And I remember Aaron pitching the moment of like they're dancing and they're having fun, and he says, I love you, and she's like, I love this song too.
Yep.
I was like, broke
Oh,
my
yes.
heart.
Right? Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, because she does it on purpose, like
Right.
she didn't
Mhm.
actually think. Broke my heart, and it was one of those things where, you know, in the room we'd be like, or like you pitch something, we love that, you know, later on it's like, you know, is it that? Maybe it's something else. And like we think, no, I would be like, no, that is the moment. This is what it is, you know. And so I love that moment. I love her. I love the moment where young Callum is hugging her. Like she goes to hug him after his mom has passed away, and he just like takes the hug for a second, and then he
Yeah.
like hugs her back. It's this tiny little just he just receives it for a second and then hugs her back. I was
Mhm.
like, oh, so beautiful, so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes.
And I mean, I'll keep on going. The the
Please do.
moment where she puts the napkin up on the window
Yeah.
at the very
Hmm.
end,
Hmm.
Hmm.
I felt like that moment was so great. That was such a team effort because one, the music, our amazing composers at Bleeding Fingers, the music was just like gives me chills. But she had pitched that the music stops and you know, at that moment, and you're
Ooh,
like, you
yeah.
don't know what's gonna happen. And I was like, oh, that sound was so great. And then the other huge contributor there was Jenny Bayless, who pitched the idea that Callum had been holding on to this napkin since the beginning. And I was just like, Jenny Bayless.
Right?
So good.
So good.
So
So
good.
good. So
So good.
good. When it comes
Yes.
back and she's like, what?
What?
Uh huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
good.
a love. That is a
Yeah.
love.
Yes.
But it's so
And
good. It's those
and
details.
nobody is surprised really, right? Because we've been watching these little
Hmm.
looks and these
Yes.
little
Yeah. And
moments and
I
yeah.
think that some people, some people will be like, oh, I knew it was Callum from the beginning or whatever. Well, I mean, it's a rom-com. We
Right.
kind of, that is not, to me,
Well,
I
it's all
don't.
about the journey. Like, how are
Exactly.
we going
It's
to
all
figure
about
this
the
out?
journey.
Yeah.
You know, I had a boss one time says it should be surprising yet inevitable.
Right.
Yes.
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 And so we want to know, like, surprise us in how we do it. Like
Right.
the episode 5 where we have, you know, find a third man.
Right.
We really wanted that third option to be a guy who was pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he was a
Yeah.
pretty great
He was
guy,
great.
and yeah, and he was in the textile industry. Like they had a
And
lot
his
in
plans were
common.
Yeah.
so good. Like,
Yeah,
right?
and you know,
Right.
So,
It's that moment where you're like, well, we could see her picking him, right?
right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely. And also, like, just the way when they finally get together in the finale, that it is mirrors their first kiss as teenagers is just
Yes.
so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Loved that.
mean,
Yeah.
and like so much of that is our of the amazing Emer Conroy, who was our director for episode 1 and episode 1, 2, and 6, who, you know, was making that end moment from the very beginning,
Right.
right? And then Megan Fox, who was the director in the middle, did the first kiss, you know,
Yep.
the kiss from when they were kids. And so, oh, it's
So
just so
good.
good.
So good.
I mean, like, I'm tooting my own horn, but I
good.
love them. I love the actors. Julian Morris, I mean,
Yes.
he just really, I mean, that motorcycle, the scene where he brings back the motorcycle in episode 6, I think, where they have their like big fight.
Yeah.
I was watching that as a viewer this time and I was like, oh, that is a big fight that they had. How are we going to come back from it?
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, I know, but still.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. I feel like I was going to ask you, what would you tell the audience that hasn't seen it yet and why to binge? But I feel like we're answering that now. Like, you have to watch this. It's so good.
I mean, I really like stick with it, you know. The longer you're in with it, the more you start to understand why people are the way they are. You know, like, you know, Kate, you know, as Callum says, she's a thorny rose.
Right.
And listen, we're all
I
thorny
was just gonna
roses,
say,
you
Yeah.
know.
same. Like, you know, like a lot of people are
Yeah.
like, that's normal people, and the thorns are there for a reason, and
Yes.
and they
Yes.
tell part of your story too.
Right.
So
That's kind of the fun part, right? Figuring out why
Yeah.
they're there. Yeah.
uh-huh. I mean, there's literally songs written about that.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Yes.
But no, it's a wonderful story, and it's a great binge. So now that all 6 episodes are out, people can just get on Hallmark Plus and binge the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
perfect thing to watch, especially like that week between Christmas and New Year's. Like, it's
Yes.
the perfect thing to watch. Yeah.
It also gives me, and you know, for me to speak these words, I feel like, you know, I'm sure people are going to be like, how dare she?
Right.
But it gives me Bridget Jones
Yes.
diary vibes.
Yes.
Like, she is just doing the best she can. Modern woman. And so I always love watching Bridget Jones in that time between Christmas and New Year's. And so it's similar. Yeah. On Hallmark Plus, you can binge all 6 right now. And I think on Hallmark Channel, they're going to be replaying some of them.
Yep.
Okay. What do you know?
I know that some of them are scheduled because I looked to see what was scheduled.
Yeah.
I didn't see exactly which ones when, but that they are scheduled. And this is something Hallmark regularly does, is replays things after they're aired. So you can usually even look for them and like grab them on your DVR.
Yeah.
Right.
And then watch them that way. And on top of it, as a reader, we're both readers. Like, once I binged it, I was like, I need to read Jenny Bayless's book. And
Yeah.
when I walked in to a family Christmas party yesterday, my mom just came right up to me and she goes, oh my gosh, I watched 12 Days of Christmas and I absolutely loved it. And she's like, I already got the book on my Kindle. And I'm like, I need to get it. So
You got to get it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I
loved-
did download the Audible to get me through all my rapping that I have to catch up on.
Yes. I am an Audible. I'm a listener.
same.
I love
And
both.
I just hearing the English, the accent and everything just puts you in the mood a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a long drive.
Sometimes if it's a story I really love, I will read it and listen to it.
Yeah.
So-
Oh yeah.
I just did that this
100%.
year, yeah.
That is where I'm at. I have a long drive, so I listen when I drive. And then I also love to read myself. I read faster than the Audible, then I can make the Audible go fast. So
Yeah.
I do both. And so
Yeah.
here's me buying both things, but that's okay. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, well, I was when I first came onto this show, they sent me two different the people that I was that one that are associated with this show sent me two different books, and I read both of them, or I listened to both of them, and I just fell in love
Oh,
with Jenny's book. That I
Yeah.
was like,
oh,
I didn't even try to pitch on the other one. I won't say what the other one was, but this one I just fell in love with the characters and the
Yeah.
ideas of it. And one of the things that Hallmark said from the very beginning is they didn't want it to be like episodic, where it was
Yes.
just like she goes on a date and it's just the story of the date. There's no character growth over the series. And so that was the big thing. And I was like, yes, of course. Like, why are we even doing this if there's not going to be character
Right.
growth? So that was one of the big things that they were really wanting in a show. And, obviously with something that Aaron and I both were interested in doing as well.
I also love that, like, it used to be kind of classically like the one guy was if you're the finance bro, you're a bad guy. I love the
Yeah.
opposite of that. It's like somebody who was in the business and working hard at that was actually a very legitimate choice. I love that
Yes.
that change of perspective in the story.
Yeah.
too.
We just tried to be zig when you thought we were going to zag, but yet at the same time, it's a rom-com. So
Yeah.
it's hopefully surprising, but inevitable.
Yes. I think that's exactly, I mean, that's what I love to read, right?
We're here for the
That's my
journey,
favorite.
honestly.
Surprising,
Yeah.
but inevitable.
Truly.
Right?
Yeah.
Some of the best shows, some of the biggest shows out right now, like the end point, and sometimes those writers like literally tell you what's going to happen, and then
Yes.
it's the journey that they're sharing,
Totally.
and
Right.
I kind of love that. I love seeing
Yeah.
the point of view of the journey, and so I think that's what makes this limited series so special. It's the journey.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I also, when it comes to rom-coms, it's like, that's going to be happily ever after, but I also am the kind of person who I don't mind spoilers. Somebody can tell me how something ends. I don't care
Same.
because it's about the journey.
Right.
Just as you were saying, Julie, like,
Yes.
I remember it was, the last Twilight film.
Right.
And I read all the books. I could not remember what happened in that final battle. It might have been the second to the last. It was the last book, but they had put it into two. And I was like, I can't even remember what happened. Like, I read it, I can't even remember. And I was like watching it like it was the first time.
I love that.
But I still like it.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. You gotta love that.
Okay, so hopefully everybody watches 12 Dates Till Christmas if they haven't already. But is there anything else we can look for that you have coming up?
Well, I am out. I've got my suitcase of wares that I'm taking out, two different shows right now, actually, when we come back from Christmas break. And I'll be taking out two of those. One of them, I can't say what they are,
Yeah,
but they're
okay.
both, I like to say, kind of like soft procedurals.
Yeah.
So it's like a procedural, so there's a case of the week, but there's a lot of character development in it. And you might come for the case of the week, but you stay for the characters. And so that's kind of what the thing that I love to do the most. And so hopefully both of those will go and we can do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where can people follow along on your journey so we can
Oh my goodness, I am so bad at social media. Please, I have an Instagram handle, and it's like lava with a D. So it's like my name.
Right.
My name is Dava, and it's like lava with a D.
lava with the
So,
D?
I love that.
Okay.
Like lava with a D.
It's perfect, actually.
It's perfect.
No excuses. Everybody needs to know how to say
Like lava
Dava.
with a D, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that feels like the perfect answer because I feel like you've had to say that your whole life besides. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Actually, one time I was at like a boba tea. You guys know what boba
Yep.
tea
Yep.
is?
Yeah.
And I said lava or Dava, like lava with a D, and they gave me it was written Lada, Lada.
Oh, okay.
So they did do it correctly. It was like lava with a D, but
With the
they
D.
Right.
changed the wrong letter. I
Close.
was like,
I like
I was
that they
like,
took
what?
it very literally, though.
Yeah,
Right?
I really- okay.
Thanks
I
for
mean, that was a
listening.
thinker. It was a thinker. I was like,
Yep.
this is not my cup. Like, this isn't mine.
Right.
Lada. Who? What? And then I was like, well, that's funny.
But
Yeah.
but you're
I
like,
mean,
well, I
okay.
did kind of say that, so here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it is correct, right? Like, I didn't say what letter to change.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Right.
That's hysterical. Um, that's great. Okay, we love to end with a little favorites game, but we'll keep it quick because we've kept you on here for a long time. But do you have a favorite Christmas movie of all time?
Well, I mean, I love It's a Beautiful Life
Yeah.
just as like a movie, but I have so many favorite movies. I love Bridget Jones.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I consider that a Christmas
yes.
movie.
Yes.
Elf.
Oh, for sure.
Elf, I mean, is just a
Candy
classic.
cane,
Um,
candy corn, maple syrup.
The best. I mean, literally, we were watching it last night
Right?
while we were playing the game of life. My husband, my daughter, and I were
Perfect.
playing life, having with Elf playing in the background.
That's perfect.
I would say I'll keep it to those three, but I mean, I could go. I love Christmas, so
We do a lot
yeah,
of elf
Christmas.
quoting here. A lot of elf quoting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet.
Bye,
I
buddy.
bet.
Bye, buddy. Exactly. The narwhal. Do you have a favorite holiday tradition?
Ooh, well, so I am half Mexican and half Canadian.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I like to say before NAFTA fell out of favor, I used to say I'm the original NAFTA agreement because, I span the entire continent. But I love, love, love making tamales with my family. And we make tamales at some point, not usually Christmas Eve because we want to eat them
Right.
Christmas Eve. So we have a Christmas tamale making party
Yes.
before Christmas, and then we eat them. And during the party, we'll have lots of people come over. People come and go. You don't have to be here for the whole time. My dad will make a huge pot of beans, and we'll just have delicious food and laugh and just like enjoy each other's company and gossip. And it's my favorite thing.
I can smell it now.
It's amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's amazing.
that sounds wonderful, and I can see why it would be your favorite. That's a beautiful tradition. Okay, do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Ooh, great questions. I mean, I don't know. This isn't my favorite song, but it's the song that's coming to my head. It's Santa Baby
Oh,
is
yeah,
what's
Santa
coming to
Baby.
my head.
I mean, it's such an icon.
Oh, I have a couple of things so there's there's one song, and I don't know the name of it, but it almost sounds like the Harry Potter kind of haunting children singing
Choir, yeah.
in the Fleur de Lis or something like this. Also, do you guys know which song I'm talking about?
Oh,
I don't know if
I
it's like
feel
it's
like
not-
I can hear it, but I can't.
Like the bells, something of the bells.
Yes, it's something of the bells.
Right.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
That one?
that's part of it.
Yes, yes.
And then and it gets into like
Yeah.
you guys, I love that song
Carol
because
of the
it's like
Bells.
the whole journey.
Carol of the Bells, yeah.
Yes,
Carol of the
there's a
Bells.
whole journey there where it's like it seems like a little creepy, but then it's like traditional, and then it comes back. But then the other kind of funny Christmas song that I bet nobody's ever mentioned is "Donde está Santa Claus?"
Oh, where is Santa Claus?
Do people know that one?
I've heard it before. I've heard it
Oh
before. My husband's family. Yes.
yeah. Okay. It is so cute. Like a little boy singing, Donde está Santa Claus is so cute. Like I love that.
Fun,
Fun.
fun. What a wonderful
But
mix of songs.
literally listening to Christmas music at Thanksgiving. Like,
Oh yeah.
I know some people go start before, but at Thanksgiving is my time when I turn it on and
Yeah.
forget about it. That's where I am. I love Kelly Clarkson. Kelly
Yeah.
Clarkson, her album Back in Red or
Yeah,
something like
yep,
that. The first Christmas
yep.
album that she
Yeah.
did.
So good.
Every song
So good.
on that album is a banger. I love it, all
Right,
of them.
Yeah.
right.
It's
I
good.
mean, the
I feel
woman,
like every year I'm starting to put it on the music like a little bit earlier.
right.
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't care about anybody's rules anymore. I'm just putting it
Yeah.
on, whatever I want to
Yeah.
listen to.
And of course we start covering Christmas movies like in before Halloween. So sometimes
Yeah.
you've got to get yourself into the
Oh, I'm sure.
into the
Yeah.
mood.
Moment.
Yeah.
But, speaking of music, not to bring it back to 12 Dates again, but
No, but the music was phenomenal.
our music
So
was
Yeah.
so good. Catherine Grimes was our music supervisor.
I'm
So we
glad you
had
said that.
composers
Okay.
who did composing original music. But then Catherine found the most amazing music to find for these special moments, the kiss at the end of episode 2
Oh,
where she kisses Richard
yep.
for the first time, and that music that comes on, I'm always just like, yes,
Hmm.
so good. And then the kiss at the very, very, very end was an artist very new in her career that Catherine found, and she actually re-recorded her song to go just so that it came in and out exactly where we needed it for the show.
Love that.
And so, I love the soundtrack.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
the soundtrack's so
it's
good.
good and it stood out to me, and I think it added to not just the story, but it really added to that modern feel that we were talking
Yeah.
about, because we
Yeah.
don't always get good music in these types of movies.
Yeah,
or series.
there's such a the well that
Yes,
are the songs that you usually hear.
yes,
And those are great songs. They're classics for reasons
they're
because they
classics
really
for
are
a
great
reason.
songs.
Yeah,
But Catherine really had this mandate of I'm going to go out and try to find some new songs.
Yeah.
And, and also she came at it from a European person's sensibility of what it was like to do Christmas in Europe, not necessarily the United States, which is very
Right.
different.
Right.
yeah,
It is different, and it's a different look and a different feel. Anyways, it all comes together to give you the feeling, the overall arch of a feeling that you love it. It all feels contemporary and modern and brings you the emotions at the right spots. You gotta love that.
Thank you guys so much. And
Yeah,
thank you for watching it. I can tell that you actually
yeah.
watched it.
it was great. I enjoyed it. I even put it on again today because I had watched it a couple of weeks ago now. But so I think I liked it even better the second time. So
Oh,
I hope
thank you.
I hope it does well on Hallmark Plus. And if you haven't watched it, please tune in. And this has been so fun. You'll have to come back sometime. We enjoyed talking with you.
I'd love to.
Awesome. Well, thank
Thank
you
you.
everybody for watching or listening. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.